Howdy, y'all. This is really cool. By the way, I got a brand new camera, which you can probably see as it's falling down. So let's wedge that up a little bit better. It's remote control, so I can do this all wirelessly. This is beautiful. So I don't know when the battery's going to cut on this thing because it's only down to like 20% power or whatever. But I just got out of CMA's Beltane event, which is, by the way, chock full of wind. Really awesome. I got the day pass this year. Their events are every 6 months, so they have one for Beltane, one for Samhain. I will be coming back for Samhain, and I will be coming to camp if I have enough vacation time left over. Think of it as PSG without the bureaucracy. It is really freaking cool. I managed to get through all the... I mean, it's smaller, but it's a Texas event. I mean, people come in from all over, but it's really, just really full of wind. It's awesome. People laid back. It's really well organized. They aren't so strict about in and out privileges. Actually, they have a really creative way of dealing with in and out. So, shift to my third gear here. Yeah, I'm in a car rental today. So the way they take care of the in and out problem, since they also have a one-lane road coming in and out of their land. And by the way, this is land that they own. This is not a rented campground, which is again why it's full of wind. Ooh, I wonder if I can do this. Oh, that's so much better. Slightly off kilter, but whatever. So let's talk about that. They own their own land. They're currently doing a lot of different fundraisers like raffles and stuff because you pay to get in. That goes in the general fund, I think. But yeah, they're trying to get their water and sanitation stuff up to code. Actually, we're in an super extreme drought this year. Basically, you can't even you flick a cigarette in the wrong direction, like half the state will go up in flames, as we've seen. And major kudos to Peter Diving, who's out basically parachuting into West Texas to help fix our little fire problem here in Texas. Major kudos to him. He's always a great guy to work with, and he's a guy to just get stuff done. You're probably going to see me going slow for a while. We are definitely in Texas. We're in the back road to Texas here, but people here seem pretty nice. But yeah, they had to watch the sewage this year because actually because of the burn ban, that actually affected their ability to with gray water. So yeah, gray water used for showering and stuff. So they had some issues with that because it hasn't rained here in like months, it seems. I live in not too far from here, and yeah, it's a similar problem out where I am. It's pretty bad. But CMA, get back on topic, is full of wind. Oh my god! So it's got all the stuff that a Pagan event has your vending section, has workshops. The workshops are awesome. There's a lot of stuff here that I didn't know about. Main reason I'm leaving is because I need lunch. They didn't have a food vendor that does lunch. So that's why we got this video right now at yeah, just about 3 hours after I shot it. I think this is an event that if you're going to come, definitely do the camping experience. From what I understand, there's a lot of parties that happen overnight. A lot of cool stuff happens overnight. A lot of people here are quite intelligent. You're not going to actually. I didn't see a single person walk around with fairy wings, which is kind of interesting since they were for sale. But it is just, oh yeah, the in and out situation. Sorry, I'm driving, so I can't give full concentration to what I'm saying at the moment. But the in and out situation, so it's a one-lane road in and out. I'm on a barely 2-lane road right now. But they have a little bridge you gotta cross, and their thing is to have quote-unquote trolls at the bridge. And these are people that basically, yeah, it's kind of a fun thing that they do. So when you get to the troll bridge, if you want to, if you didn't park outside, and you want to, walk in and out, or bring your car in and out, or whatever, what you got to do is, they say it, cash, flash, or laugh. So you either got to tell them a good joke to get them to laugh, you got to flash them, which should be self-obvious at a clothing optional event, and or you can just give a $10 donation that gives you a day pass to walk in and out however much you want, because, well, they appreciate all the donations they can get, and they really, really like it. Oh, by the way, this event is very reasonably priced. $40 gets you a day pass, $75 gets you a pass for the 5-day event, and that also includes membership into the Council of Magickal Arts, magickal-arts.org. and so that makes you a voting member of the organization, and this is definitely an organization I'll be joining as soon as I can, because I'm very impressed. The professionalism from end to end is just astounding. Yes, there's probably better put together events, but I've never been this relaxed at such a well organized event. Like, I sent an email, I think on a Saturday, a month and a half ago, and I got 2 different responses within 6 hours. And they were both saying the same thing, and I was like, yay. And they also take PayPal, credit card, and all the standard stuff you would expect an event to take for an admission fee. And you don't really have to have any special signed piece of paper by some elder in an organization. You just kind of show up, and I'll just leave it. I don't want to give out too many details because I don't want their system to be abused, but let's just say it's very relaxed. So you don't have to stress out, oh my god, did I forget a piece of paper or whatever. So it's really cool. These guys are really cool. A lot of people there, just really laid back, good pagans. I managed to, a lot of people that know me at festivals know I rarely buy things at festivals because during my more novice years, I bought basically everything under the sun. So now I have like a whole stockpile of magical supplies. Oh, let me show you some cows. See, welcome to Texas, people. Cows. They're in the shade because, well, it's about 80 something degrees right now, and it's gonna go up to 87 today. Let's get you back on me. And yay, cows. One thing to keep in mind if you go to this event, don't just pull into a lot. One guy looks like he ran over a cactus and had a flat tire he was fixing this morning. He was mostly the way done, so I didn't need to call AAA or anything for him. But it's quite interesting around here to remember the local flora and fauna, shall we say. Remember to have somebody walk out and kick away any cactuses, or better yet, just don't park where there's cactuses. I think that's a much better idea. But like a lot of pagan events, a lot of your best camping spots are out in the open, and when you're in a climate where it gets to be about 85 degrees during the day in the middle of April, yeah. But major kudos to them for doing this in the middle of April instead of on May the 1st, like every other freaking pagan event that always competes with each other. So, major kudos to them for proper date selection. Location, I know it seems like I'm going down this road for freaking ever, but I'm also doing half the speed limit because, well, there's nobody on the road to make me go faster. So, it is basically 10 minutes off of I-10. You can consider it somewhere between Houston and Austin, but it's actually significantly close to Austin. It's out by Bastrop, for those of you who are familiar with Texas geography. See, but it is just chock full of wood over here. Oh, and they got hills and trees. And the energy of the place, really nice. It's a good place to just sit down and meditate. I think I spent half an hour meditating this morning there. It was really worth it. People there are really great to talk to. I think this is the first time that being as big a complainer as I am, I really just don't have anything to complain about, which is quite shocking. As for those of you who don't know, I've been looking for a pagan group in Houston for a while. I like the Houston Metaphysics meetup group. They're a good group, but they keep changing their location. I can never keep track of when or where their meetings are. So I've basically abandoned that group because it was at an awkward time for me anyway. But yeah, I think I finally found it. CMA is all over Texas. They have a strong presence in Houston and Austin. Very strong in Austin. And I kind of look forward to this group. This looks like it could be very interesting. As you can probably tell from looking at the background, I've probably found the one road in Texas that is not perfectly straight. This is definitely it's called Anchor Ranch Loop that I'm on right now. And as you can tell by the name, yeah, there's lots of ranches around me, which is why you see lots of branches in the background there. But I really like this event. Hell, it might even be worth bringing a bunch of pagans here to just cover the event, because it seems like this is the kind of place like to get some interesting people. Looking around the event, I'd say that there's approximately about 300 to 400 people, so it is definitely not as big as PSG, which is probably why they're able to be so lenient about things. Again, when you have a bigger event, lots more logistical problems arise. Just like PSG, the layout of the land is much the same. They have the healing tent, they have the safety tent. Thing that was interesting is instead of having barrels everywhere for trash and recycling, you just come around with like a little go-kart twice a day or whatever to collect it. I was actually on the road when they were doing a call for recycled aluminum. So, yay recycling. I like recycling at Pagan events. I feel like I'm doing an advertisement for their event. I'm just so thoroughly impressed by it. Like, I've been to so many Pagan events, especially those in Texas, and I've been disappointed at a great lot of them. So I'm just going to keep talking, but I'm going to switch this camera around so you can see the wonderful countryside we are now driving through. Yay, countryside! Also, the speed limit, it goes up to about 70, so I needed to do that ahead of time. By the way, well, we got a little bit lull in discussion. Hang on while I check for traffic. Whoop drive, Mr. Scotty! There we go. Now we're up to the speed limit. So I am driving a beautiful 2010 Hyundai Elantra. Beautiful car, by the way. It gets me, when they say 40 miles a gallon, they're really not kidding. I've been driving this in city driving conditions, and I still have managed to get close to 40 miles a gallon. Being a little more gentle with it on the highways where you can set cruise control and everything. Yeah, I've been able to, I've used 3 gallons so far for over the course of 114 miles, which, keep in mind, that does include some city driving, because where I am is kind of considered a little bit urban, even though I got a cow pasture down the street. As you can see here in the middle of Texas, the trees do not grow that high. Talking 20 to 30 feet max. If you go north about another 30 miles, that's when you start seeing forests. So where we are is like the beginning of, you see 1 or 2 tall trees, but you have to go a few more miles north than that to see the forest that you come to know up north. And as you can see, the poles are taller than the trees around here, so that should be an indicator of something. Like on our left here, somebody tore down a bunch of trees to build something. It's actually quite common practice down here in Texas to just mow down all the trees, put them in piles, and just burn a pile of trees. I don't quite understand the practice. I thought that you could use some scrap wood to be sent to paper mills, but I guess people just don't want that money. Alright, so I've just picked up a power inverter because apparently this thing requires some kind of special USB didgeridoo here to get things working. So, picked up one hell of a nice power inverter at a really good price. So, like Scary always says, if you always need any kind of electronics while you're on the road, check out a truck stop. They usually have a pretty good deal, especially when it comes to chargers and anything related to electrical charging. So we just got off I-10 here. We're en route to Austin, Texas. Gonna hook up with some friends over in Austin. But first, we gotta take a little shortcut because I'm not taking I-10 all the way the heck over to San Antonio just to go back up to Austin. That's kind of going out of the way. So I'm taking a little shortcut that a co-worker showed me a while back. Actually, the shortcut that the co-worker showed me is to take Highway 80, Texas Highway 80, from I-10 all the way up to actually 183, US 183 over to Texas 80. Take that across, and well, while that is nice and short, it's not quite as scenic. And I figured, well, I got the video cam on full power car with lots of extra memory hanging around, why the hell not show you the backcountry of Texas? So just hang on while I try to figure out what the hell the speed limit is. Pretty sure over here it's still 60. First thing we're going to hit over here is the town of Luling, Texas. Actually, when somebody says Luling, it could be anywhere within about a 20-mile radius, so again, just like anything else in Texas, it doesn't quite narrow it down. But this is one of the main roads into Luling. The other one is Texas 80. This is a shortcut if you're coming from Houston, whereas Texas 80 is a shortcut if you're coming from San Antonio. It's 1:40 in the afternoon now. And we are coming to you in high definition! Although it'll probably be standard definition after post-production at this rate. So I finally found a way to get the camera nice and level. Plug the fucker in. It works. Because the little view screen I gotta keep open balances on one side. The camera front to back is balanced, and the USB cable keeps it balanced on the other side. And I got it jammed up against the windshield, so it really doesn't have an opportunity to move. Now, that might not be an option when we move to the RV for Pagan Roadtrip Season 2. So again, we're just testing out quite a few different post-production techniques and production techniques. And I'm pretty sure I did. No, I didn't pass the 45-mile-an-hour sign yet. Luling, Texas, by the way, is, you could smell it. Okay, let's put it that way. There's a lot of oil around here. In fact, if you're looking at your screen, you just see us pass up a few refineries here. This town always smells like oil. If you got an old car, you always freak out because you think your car is spewing oil all over the place. So here's our little 45-mile-an-hour speed limit downtown that I was looking for. Naturally, right in front of the police station, so you really want to adhere to it. There's always some kind of yard sale things going on. It looks like permanent yard sales around here. It seems like a Luling thing. I never quite understood it. Oh, by the way, the big tourist attraction here in Luling, Texas is the annual Watermelon Festival, which is, I think it's the first weekend in June. So if you're going to Luling, just avoid that weekend, unless you actually want to go to the Watermelon Festival. Because otherwise, you'll just be stuck in traffic forever. Watermelons are the main crop here in Luling. I know a little bit too much about this town, it seems. As you can see here, we're riding along the railroad. We're on US 90, which parallels the railroad across Texas. And I-10 parallels US 90, so we got a whole big trifecta of infrastructure going on here. So we're coming up to our first light here in Luling. We're going to make a right. This is Texas Route 80 that I was telling you about earlier. Luling's a nice little small town. Surprisingly, a lot of pagan-friendly people here. Even though you're in the middle of Texas, and if you're like 10 miles away, you feel like you're going to get shot. Here, I walked in with a pentagram shirt. Nobody, no pros or cons. In fact, when I was back grabbing lunch in by that main Flatonia. Back in Flatonia, somebody told me to go dancing tonight when they saw my shirt. Not quite sure what that message means. I have to go look it up or look at the YouTube comments after that. So we're going to make a right turn here. We're now on the Texas Independence Trail. I have no idea what the Texas Independence Trail is, so just look it up on Wikipedia. That'll get you started. But we're coming up here on, lots of Jesus people here. Coming up on the oil museum here. It's a little past this traffic light on the right-hand side. Normally I cut through San Marcos because it's shorter, but I want to check up on some interesting construction that's been going on up this way. So we're passing on the right is Central Texas Oil Patch Museum. Alright, and that's all there is to see about Luling. Now let's go on to Lockhart. Okay, so when you're driving down these back roads to Texas that look like highways, you will usually find picnic areas just kind of strewn about randomly. That's kind of rest areas for the non-interstate travelers, which is kind of cool because there's a really, as you can see, even just traveling down here, there's a lot of really nice roads you can drive down in Texas at pretty high speed. Now, if only anybody would do the goddamn speed limit on this road. I mean, the speed limit's been 65 for like 5 miles, and everybody's doing 60. I don't know why. But, you know, we're going to be coming up on Lockhart in about 20 minutes, and after that we wind up at the Austin Airport. Yeah, the Austin Airport kind of sucks in a way because there's really not that many direct flights, so you're going to always wind up in Houston, then transferring over to Austin. So, sucks for you if you want to fly into or out of Austin. Ever. Hurricane evacuation route. Reminding us yet again, we are still kind of close to the coastline. I mean, we're only about 150 miles inland from the Gulf of Mexico. Oh yeah, climates. Austin is dry. Houston is humid. The further inland you go, the drier it gets. We're already out as far as the land is sand at this point inland. So, not quite salty like desert sand, but it's more like beach sand around here. We still got enough moisture to make it like beach sand, but if you look really closely at the sides of the road, you'll notice some cactuses, some really small ones growing, and the closer you get to Austin, the more you're going to notice that. So it is, you know, kind of weird, you know, being a guy from the north, noticing cactuses growing along the road. But it's kind of interesting. They actually do some really awesome landscaping work on the north side of Austin with cactuses. Just don't ever get into an accident there. Okay, we just passed a Tractor Supply Company. Think of them as the Home Depot for Texans. You know, you got these giant ranches out here, you're gonna need some really bizarre equipment to maintain that. Or if you just want a riding mower, which is kind of weird because if you're the type to mow a lawn, you tend to have not much of a lawn to mow. But yeah, interesting fact of Texas. Now we're entering Lockhart. Okay, as we drive through Lockhart, and you'll see some of these little signs with numbers in them that have like this, the outline of the state of Texas. That's actually quite an interesting thing here in Texas. Those are considered, at least on this part of Texas, farm to market roads. So originally these were roads that tied together farms with local communities where farmers can go to market and sell their stuff, hence the name farm to market. We are currently east of I-35. When you go west of I-35, they become ranch to market roads. It's not a hard and fast rule, but it's a good approximation that works out pretty good. DQ, as you can see on your left, is actually a pretty big chain down here. They're a Texan chain. You see them all around the U.S., but yeah, they're especially popular down here, as is Whataburger, which Whataburger is open 24 hours a day, inside and out. It's why they got that reputation of, shall we say, when certain people have munchies, they go there. They're kind of like the Taco Bell of Texas, except that Texans hate Taco Bell because it's fake Mexican and doesn't resemble Tex-Mex, which is totally different from Mexican food. What you know as Mexican food is probably just Tex-Mex. Kind of like Chinese food, how it's all kind of weird American. We're in the part of Texas where things get a little less than politically correct, as you can see by the billboard. Sonic is also really big down here. I just don't like that food. Sorry. Lockhart has a really small main street. It has a lot of small businesses on it. It's only like 3 blocks long. What we're on right now is kind of more of the commercial district than Main Street of Lockhart. And yeah, Lockhart is deep in the heart of Texas. On your left, you're going to see H-E-B. They're a Texas Mexican grocery store. They're really kind of big on the whole natural foods thing. They really give Whole Foods a run for their money down here. Because Whole Foods is accustomed to charging whatever they want around the country, and they can't really do that. Especially H-E-B. H-E-B gets a lot of their organic food from Austin, which probably pisses off Whole Foods since they were founded and established here in Austin. Not quite sure what the heck Lockhart is even known for, but as you can see, I'll rotate the camera a little bit. They got a little clock tower, and that's on Main Street. That's pretty much the end of Main Street, actually. Subway is really huge down here. There are more subways than McDonald's. If you're not even like half a town, they will put a Subway there. I mean, they're like Starbucks. They're just freaking everywhere. Yeah, in case you haven't noticed, Texas likes to have a lot of different highway names. So we have Texas highways, like 142 that we're coming up on now. You got farm to market roads, which can be, they're a little bit better than back roads. They're well maintained. And then you got county roads, which, yeah, you're lucky if they're paved. Coming up on a four-way stop here. Yeah, it's gonna take a while to get there. Then there's beltways, loops. There's state park roads, NASA roads, but those are only seen by NASA. Yeah, you know, there's, I guess, well, you got a state this big, you're going to run out of numbers, so you might as well just start making up different types of roads. So, for example, there's a Texas Highway 8, and then there's a Beltway 8. And luckily, they're not geographically close to each other. A little bit past this bridge here is when the speed limit goes up again. Usually when I lower speeds, it's like for this, you know, lots of traffic, a little bit congested, town type of deal. But once you're on the open road, they're trying to make their speed limits as high as practical. So, like before, there was the offshoot road that was 70 miles an hour, which is, you know, the interstate highway speeds over on this side of Texas. Once you get west of I-35, it goes up to 80, and they're thinking about raising up to 85. Oh, red light. But a red light. This issue's a red light challenge! So yeah, Farm to Market Road is abbreviated FM, hence the little street sign up there. And we're still on a hurricane evacuation route. Nick's marked. Unfortunately, they have no money. Alright, a little bit now before we wind up in civilization again. I think our next major stop's going to be the airport, or a construction zone. Oh yeah, the construction zone. I think they're building a tollway around here or something. I don't know, I have to look it up. This is the scenic route I wanted to show you. Oh wow, they've actually built this road since like last year. Yeah, normally over here the speed limit would go up to 70, hence the speed limit sign for 55 more here. And in case you're wondering how to pronounce that town back there, it's pronounced La Passes, not Limp Passes. Yeah, we're going to try to get around this guy who doesn't have his load tied down too well. Used to be like buildings and stuff around here, not giant freaking highway. Dream close up! Okay, that's enough of that mess. Now what we need is someone with a shot up their nose hairs and we'll be good. What a little structure there. Yeah, I find the new electrical poles they put up here in Texas kind of weird. They're metal. You never think of metal telephone poles. Yeah, the problem with Austin is that the city has grown very, very significantly in the past few years, and the public infrastructure has not grown fast enough. So you see, like, highway construction, you even see transmission lines being built. I mean, when was the last time we drove through the country and seen brand new, you know, high voltage electricity lines being put up? Okay, so here's the construct of a typical Texan highway. You always have your main lanes, which is what most people are familiar with when traveling on highways in the U.S. And then you have the feeder road, which we are on right now. So the feeder road is a road that runs parallel to the highway, and all the on-ramps and off-ramps go onto. So this way you don't have an on-ramp or off-ramp going immediately to a stoplight and causing a traffic jam on the highway. Instead, it filters onto the feeder road, and then it filters through whatever intersection the exit was supposed to address. Though this is a very atypical construction of a Texan highway, because asphalt is being used here, and that's kind of rare. Usually asphalt is a subtle indicator of temporary roadway, and I don't think they built this to be a temporary roadway, at least not from what I'm seeing here. Usually we use concrete because, well, to be quite blunt, it gets so freaking hot here, the asphalt has a tendency to melt. So roads pretty much need to be made out of concrete. Now, it doesn't melt as in it turns into water, but what happens is it'll loosen up, so it's not exactly like, it's not like cement solid, it's more like a gooey Play-Doh kind of solid. And what happens is the ground underneath starts moving around when it rains, and it pushes the pavement up and just makes a really bumpy road in the process. It seems weird that they're running electrical lines along the side of the highway. I mean, this reminds me of Europe, where they have the high-speed rails that run through the, usually run in the middle of the highways, but I guess they're going to do it on the sides here if they're going to do that. They still haven't figured out a way to, well, there are passenger rail tracks that connect San Antonio to Austin, but the problem is, if you go from Houston to Austin, it'll take you 19 hours by rail, as opposed to 3.5 hours by, even if you're on traffic from downtown Houston to downtown Austin. But yeah, we are far enough inland of Texas to have hills at this point. For those of you who don't know, Texas has very geography. Yeah, you got the Rockies in the west, and then you got in the southeast, you got Houston, which is flatter than Kansas. It quite literally is flatter than Kansas.